Before we start the podcast, a quick word from today's sponsor, eFulfillment Service. Here at VendLab, we help brands launch and scale internationally every single day. But one of the biggest frustrations we see is sellers struggling to navigate warehousing and Amazon FBA prep without getting crushed by hidden fees and locked into terrible terms. Managing an Amazon business is time-consuming enough without having to worry about your logistics bottlenecking your growth. That's why we point brands to eFulfillment Service. They're a family-owned 3PL who's been in business for over 25 years, handling everything from FBA prep and Amazon overflow warehousing to direct-to-consumer fulfillment. And they built their entire model around making things simple for growing sellers. The best part? eFulfillment Service has zero setup fees, no minimum order requirements, and no long-term contracts. You only pay for what you use. Stop letting logistics throttle your Amazon sales. Head on over to efulfillmentservice.com/vendlab to start an 8-week risk-free trial today. Again, that is efulfillmentservice.com/vendlab. We've also put a link right in the show notes so it's super easy to grab. Thanks so much for eFulfillment Service for partnering with us on this episode. Hello and welcome to another edition of the How to Grow Your E-commerce Business podcast. I'm here with Tyler Delarme from Undigital, and we're going to discuss how to optimize your unboxing experience. So, welcome to the podcast. What is unboxing? Let's start from the basics.
Sure. So the unboxing experience, it has a couple different definitions. Most people are going to know it from the YouTube videos that they watch, right? Of people unboxing things. With what we do at Undigital, we try to think of the unboxing experience as a marketing touch point that marketers need to optimize.
Okay. So it's interesting that, because I have started thinking more about boxes recently. And I think that, obviously sometimes you get things which turn up, which have beautiful boxes. And sometimes things have got, really horrible, cheap boxes. But I think that, it really depends what kind of, the margin that the retailer has available. Sure. I mean, how important do you think it is? And I think it also is a thing that tends to be forgotten about. Have you got any figures you can share about how important it is and what people think of boxes?
Sure. So your unboxing experience, whether it's a box or a slip, it is quite significant because you're taking basically, let's compare it to another touch point, like your email, right? Like everybody gets emails, they're inundated with emails. They may not even pay that much attention to them. Your unboxing experience, however, is like a near 100% open rate. People are excited to get their package.
Well, by definition, you're going to be pretty worried if it doesn't have 100% open rate.
Exactly. Yeah. So the fact that more marketers are using it as a touch point, it's kind of mind-boggling in some ways. I think if people are going to consider their unboxing experience and the value it has, what they really need to do is dig into what their current reorder rate is and maybe just try dropping in some inserts on their own and figuring out, well, how much did that lift their reorder rate, or put some marketing in it of some sort. Whether you have a slip, whether you have a brown box, like you've got to do something to test the way you can optimize that reorder rate. And if you do it successfully, you can move your reorder rate from whatever it is today to like plus 15%. And for some companies, that may not be enough to move the needle. But for most companies, if you were to say, hey, you get 15% more reorders out of this, that would be a significant revenue for them that they're like, yeah, we absolutely should be doing this.
Okay, so what would you think is a kind of a baseline level? I mean, I don't know. I suppose it varies a lot by category. I mean, my experience. I mean, would you find that it makes a significant difference if you have inserts and does it depend on the offer as well, presumably?
Oh, certainly. Yeah, the offer has a lot to do with it, depending on the industry, I suppose. So, like if you're running a luxury brand, right? Like you're not going to have a lot of like discount incentives, and luxury brands generally don't want to do that. What they might do instead is create like personalized handwritten notes that they send to people to just kind of level up that experience. And the offer plays into it, the industry plays into it, your audience plays into it. It just depends on who you're targeting and what you're targeting them with.
Okay. So what do you think are the kind of entry-level things that unboxing? I mean, what can everyone do today? What to start creating a better unboxing experience?
Well, first, I mean, you got to look at the box you're shipping in. Is it appropriate for the products that you're shipping? Does it arrive looking like garbage? Are you taking care of the inside, like whether you're branding it or putting it in a package that makes sense? Um, then you've gotta start looking at the marketing that you're using inside of the box. Like, if you're not sending marketing in your box, I mean, it's literally just a few pennies. Like, you might be missing a huge opportunity if you're not sending out a call to action and something that almost 100% of your customers are gonna open up and go through.
Okay, because I always found with putting inserts in, it's because you have to, if you've got an efficient system, right? Then you've got we used to you take the product, you scan it, it spits out like a postage label. I mean,
Sure.
we tried putting in inserts, and it was like we did the classic 10% off the next order or something. We got almost no response, so we didn't use it. I mean, I was in the nursery industry, and I think reorder rates in the nursery industry are very low, but the effort of getting this extra thing and putting it in the box, and how do you justify that, and how do you make it easier?
Sure. Like I said, the reorder rate change, really is going to depend on what industry you're in, right? So if you're in an industry that's selling, maybe a product they're gonna buy and use for a certain period of time, and that period of time is in multiple years, like, managing your unboxing experience may not be the most valuable thing that you could do with your time. It just depends on how much that lift matters to you. So, like, everybody's gotta figure out, if I moved my reorder rate up 15% from where it is today, is that going to be financially viable for me to do this other thing? Because yeah, you're totally right. There is effort to put in inserts, whether that's you're sorting them out yourself, whether you're handwriting notes, or whether you're using an automated system like ours, where it like spits out with the label. Everybody has to figure out what that lift is going to mean to them, and if it's worth the value they're going to get from it.
Yeah. So what? How do some people have handwritten notes, or is it kind of like a machine handwriting the note?
Um, there are companies that do the machine handwritten note. The issue with the machine handwritten note is just that it takes so long, right? Like, it's literally a machine handwriting whatever length of note, and the longer your note is, the longer it takes. So I think most fulfillment teams don't have like 20 or 30 seconds to sit there and wait for a
Yeah,
note
yeah,
while
yeah.
they're packing an item.
Okay.
Um, the companies that we've worked with that were doing handwritten notes successfully, they had multiple writers that were literally in there in the fulfillment, just writing out a note and handing it off. So
God,
they
that's
had
a
like
lot of cost. That's a lot of cost.
yeah, so you really have to have a great return on that in order to maintain that many employees to just get that done. And I mean, this was a
Gosh, you
company that
gotta
was shipping thousands.
really. Did they really think it was worthwhile doing that?
For them, yes, it was, and it's just because they had a subscription model where it's like if they do something special to make people subscribe to this, it pays for that employee over a certain length of time. I mean, eventually, all companies are gonna grow out of that, right? Because at a certain volume, you're not gonna be able to sustain like, "All right, we have a building of people in the fulfillment center that are just writing notes." Like, there's not enough room in a fulfillment center for that.
That's crazy. I don't think I'd even start with that. So
Yeah.
what kind of offers do you see are the most successful in unboxing?
Sure. Again, it goes back to the type of industry, but obviously offering a discount or incentivizing enrolling into your loyalty program in some way is great. What we recommend people do is go through a variety of discount offers if that's the route they're choosing. Let's say they're doing discounts, right? Like, you don't want to throw in a discount that's insane, and you also don't wanna throw in a discount that they could have gotten on your website. Or we see companies do this a lot. So they'll on the website, they'll have like a, exit intent pop-up that's like, "Hey, get 20% off your order." And then they offer that same 20% right out of their unboxing experience. And it's like, if you're not offering something new or unique, just offering it a second time isn't likely to make them convert. So whatever your offer is, it should just be unique to that touch point if you can do that.
Okay. So what are the common mistakes that companies make with unboxing?
Sure. So the most common mistake we see is that marketing teams just don't know about their unboxing experience, or they've just basically helped design a package and then kind of left it to fulfillment after that. And in a lot of cases, it is something that fulfillment needs to work on and work through, and their KPIs really depend on it being successful. So I can see why marketing has become so detached from the touch point. Uh, but companies, if they really want to be successful, need to get their marketing teams and their fulfillment teams to work together to figure out how to optimize the channel.
Okay. So tell us about your product and how you help people improve, get the most out of unboxing. What would
Sure,
be a
sure.
typical process you take someone through to get that 15% extra return customers?
Okay, so what we do with companies, we have two different things here. So we have what we call an unboxing experience platform that ties into the order feed from the brand, and then we help them create campaigns so that they have campaigns that work function similar to your email campaign setup, right? So you've got campaigns for different audiences. When somebody places an order, the customer is matched up to the right campaign. It spits out in the fulfillment center wherever they're packing the packages. And then just kind of goes into the box. So we help them in that way to create these campaigns. Then over time, we track the customer ID along with the order to see, oh, did they reorder? What did they reorder? Um, and then we evaluate, all right, which one's performing well, which one's not performing. We'll compare it to a holdout group of people that didn't get anything at all in their package, and then determine, like, all right, is this helping you? How much is it helping you? And then we attribute it back to the actual revenue from the orders. So that's basically how we handle the analytics portion. The process of figuring out like what their offer is going to be is a little bit different, right? We have to sit with the brand, figure out what it is that they're selling, how they're selling it, look at their other marketing initiatives and kind of compare it to what we could put into the box. And then we work with them to come up with creatives and develop the ideas. Um, and then we just measure those over time, and we continue to kinda A/B test them the same way you would with emails or ads, really.
Okay. So, what kind of volume is required to make this work?
Oh, man, it depends on what you wanna do. For instance, if you're doing, again, like the handwritten note, like, I don't recommend doing that beyond, like, a couple 100 orders if you're literally writing them by hand. If you're trying to automate it yourself, you don't the volume doesn't really matter as long as you're with somebody that's offering it. So we do have partners at some of the larger 3PLs, like, ShipBob, for instance, who, if you work with ShipBob, it doesn't matter what your volume is, and you could automate it through them. If you're trying to do it in-house on your own, um I suppose the volume would have to be pretty significant because, if you're trying to do it, let's say you're trying to do it like Digital does it, right? You've got to develop something that pushes your data between your fulfillment team and your marketing team, and then, like, enables the fulfillment team to print wherever they need in line. Um, and if you're doing that for one company, that's probably it's probably gonna be tough, um, but it is
I
possible.
was saying, what kind of volume? So, if you're running your thing, because I'm guessing there's a cost involved with it.
Sure, sure. So
What kind of, do you need to be doing several hundred orders a day to really make it worthwhile?
So for us, like if somebody wanted to come work directly with us, it would need to be close to like 50,000 annual packages. So
Yeah.
it's pretty decent sized volume. Um, but again, we have like 3PLs that since they deal with many customers that have large volumes, that are just like, all right, well, we've already got the service set up here, so you just kind of bundle it with your fulfillment pricing, and then you just have access to it no matter what your volume is.
Okay, so you say that so what you do is so the bit you do is it's spitting out the label, the extra label, effectively, because the rest of it presumably is up to the retailer.
Um, so yes and no. So that we do handle the marketing insert, right? But we will help them by like reviewing their unboxing experience and being like, hey, this might need to be improved, or this doesn't really meet our current standards. And like we do tell people if you don't make these kinds of adjustments to your package, you could be losing money in other ways that you don't necessarily recognize.
Okay, so uh, what kind of retailers make the best get the best value out of this kind of service? What was it? Fashion or subscriptions
Oh,
or
fashion and beauty for sure. Like in the beauty space, we see huge gains, like astronomical gains in the way that they're doing business, and maybe that's just because they're able to send a much more personalized level of communication to the end recipient. Um, but yeah, they're we're we're actually researching this now, so they see like why is the gain so much more in this industry compared to some of the others. Yeah, beauty stands out.
okay? Is it because of the well, presumably it's a thing that people have to rebuy, isn't it?
Yes, and what we've seen is that the all right, so personalization, right? Adding relevance to the marketing communication. Um, we found that it's actually been huge in generating brand loyalty. So the people that have to buy it over a certain frequency, like makeup, for instance, like they often come back if they were convinced essentially that the product worked well for them. And so we see people that are able to send like a certain SKU. Let's say they buy this lipstick. Well, with the right targeting, you can say, "All right, they bought this lipstick. Here's this insert that talks specifically about this lipstick, and then here's all the benefits. Here's some like UGC that they can scan and go check out, or like here's a tutorial on how to use it." Um, in some cases, it's like here's a routine that's like fits the other makeup items that you've bought. One of the main reasons I think beauty performs so well is that a lot of these companies are using um, like surveys, and then these forms that you fill out on the site to like collect information about what your beauty routine is like, where do you shop, what do you look like, and so we can send wild personalizations. Like we can send them essentially like, here's the product you ordered, here's a person that looks like you in the marketing using the product, like all your features, like your eyes, your hair color, your skin tone, and so you can adapt the marketing in really significant ways. Or like one example that we used the other day was like they had a significant number of people that were ordering that were from a Spanish speaking community. And so they were able to isolate those people that use the Spanish version of their website. And then so all the marketing that goes out in their packages is in Spanish, um, versus just like sending the same, English pamphlet to everybody that they have order from them.
Yeah. Okay. So is that the kind of thing so you do a very personalized slip as in into the extent of just having someone's a different image on each slip?
Oh, yeah, yeah. So, a lot of people can start with what we call like a global audience, where it's like, oh, we created these campaigns for the first 8 orders or something. And then they move from a global audience to these broad categories, which is like people who ordered this type of item. And then once they've got those in place, then they move like into more niche and niche audiences where you're progressively building out something that hopefully the end recipient receives and they're like, wow, this is tailored to me specifically. And yeah, and it can be things from, the model that's presented on the image or the graphics that comes. It can be the product, it can be the recommendations. Um, w- w- we help people do in-package personalization in a way that I don't think most other people could on their own.
Okay. So what does it I mean, how much does it cost per unit to send out something like this?
Well, the cost per unit actually varies quite a bit because some people want to use the, cheapest possible paper, and then some people are like, "How do we get the most nice premium thing that they possibly can?" And depending on, their fulfillment process, they may have an insert that's printed at a pack station, or they may have an insert that's printed down the line before they're like getting a stack of orders to go fill. Um, or they might have a conveyor belt system that automatically packs things, and then it has to be worked into that. So the cost per unit just depends on a lot of variables. On the low end, man, I genuinely I don't have a good reference because 'cause I'm gonna say something here, and then somebody's gonna come and be like, "Hey,
Oh, yeah,
this
yeah,
was
this is
the
why
price I
this is why
heard," and then
why
I
is
have
my
to go back and explain to them like, "Yeah, that's the price you heard, but that's for a different set of variables, so you really don't wanna do this."
Okay, cool. This has been very interesting. It made me think a lot more about boxes and the experience. Tell me, when you're thinking about unboxing stuff, what are you thinking about? What you got any recommendations for us that, you know, the things that have inspired you recently, books or films or anything we should
Oh,
get involved with?
well, I mean, related to unboxing, I actually purchase a lot of different experiences from major brands to kind of review their experiences. Um, and there are some really good ones that we get. Tatcha is a good example, like,
Who, sorry?
Tatcha.
What do
Um,
they do?
so they provide beauty routines, and they have a really great packaging. Who else? Glossier has pretty great stuff. I mean, there's a lot of beauty brands out there that are doing the unboxing experience great. So if you're looking for ideas on your unboxing experience, just order some beauty products from the bigger brands and just look at their packaging because it's always pretty nice.
Okay, cool. And what about outside unboxing? Have you? What do you do when you think? What do you do when you're not thinking about unboxing?
I have the coolest 5-year-old daughter on the planet, and we play a lot of dolls. Right
Okay,
now we're in a
dollars. Okay.
Monster High phase combined with superheroes, so we got a lot of Monster High characters that are fighting off the Joker. There's, like, an elaborate setup in the dollhouse at the moment, like, there's
Cool.
a lot of that going on.
And where'd you get your shirt from? I love it.
So this one I think came from Express. My mom got it for me for my birthday.
Have you got a selection of like? Is it a Hawaiian shirt? Or is it just a?
Eh,
Nice-
so I have a closet full of floral, like floral
That's
suits, floral
flawless.
shirts. I don't know when my floral obsession started, but yeah, I do love floral.
Real men wear floral. That's why. That's why. That's
Yeah.
why. Tyler, great to talk to you. Thanks very much. It's been very
Thank you so
interesting.
much, Trevor.
Bye
Hope you have a
bye.
good day. Bye.